G.W.F Revival. This summer, this event means so much to so many people. We're going to see all the old faces, and we're going to see some new faces. But that brings me to the storyline at hand, and that is the return of the G.W.F. 10 years ago, management saw fit to shut the doors and never hold another event on Indiana Ave any longer. Everybody went their own way. Some people went on, had some families. Other people just enjoyed their lives. One of our stars even went on to become a 2CW heavyweight champion. So I get a call from G.W.F management, and they say, listen, David, we've been trying to put this event together for a while, and it looks like things are starting to come together, and we want you to be a part of the show. And I said, well, absolutely, I'd love to be a part of the show. I'd love to be a part of the revival of the G.W.F. I mean, this was my life at one time. And I said, and I would love nothing more than to defend the G.W.F heavyweight title, a title that I walked out holding when we shut our doors. And management tells me, well, there's a catch. You can wrestle, but the G.W.F title won't be on the line. So I asked, why is that? If I'm a champion, I'm willing to defend it, why not put it on the line? And they tell me that as a co-holder of a title, the other half of the championship belongs to Brian Johnson, and in return, if Brian Johnson decides that he doesn't want to be a part of it, the title can't be defended. Both champions have to be in attendance. And they say that Brian Johnson has regrettably declined the invitation to be a part of G.W.F Revival. Let me tell everybody a story. This is a story not many people know. And this basically changed the face of the G.W.F. and may have even led to the company closing its doors. 10 years ago, at the last event that we held, the commissioner came out and said we were going to have ourselves a little ultimate submission match. He said it was going to be a shoot fight. For the first time ever, we were going to do something a little bit more real. And it was going to be elimination style. Everybody in the G.W.F could be a part of it, and you just had to make somebody tap out. Any way you saw fit. If they tapped, they were out. It's the best way to crown a new G.W.F champion. And as everybody goes to leave the locker room after this announcement, the commissioner, Brian Johnson, holds me back. He says, Dave, let me talk to you for a split second. He says, I've got this idea and I want to run it past you and see what you think. He said, you know, there's a lot of great talent out there tonight, but I think we all know who the best of the best really is. He said, so why don't we do something to ensure a victory? I said, Brian, are you thinking what I'm thinking? And he says, yeah. It's exactly what I'm thinking, Dave. He says, why don't we ensure that both of us walk out the G.W.F heavyweight champion? I said, Brian, how are we going to pull this one off? He said, it's real simple. We'll individually start eliminating people. And then when we get down to the final person, we'll do a double elimination. And then it'll be just you and me. And then we'll proceed to put submissions on ourselves. And we'll do a double tap out, thus making us co-champions. And I thought about it. And if there's one thing that means more to me than anything else in this world, or anyone for that matter, it's being the G.W.F heavyweight champion. It's something I'd been before. It's something I was used to being. And there's nothing I like more in this world than a guarantee. And that's exactly what I had going into that match, a guarantee. So I told Brian, I said, you got yourself a deal. And as I walked out, I stopped and turned, and I caught Brian's eye one more time. And I saw something that shook me to my very core. For the first time ever, I saw doubt. I saw fear. I saw insecurity in Brian Johnson's eyes. I think at that point he realized, without me, he wouldn't be champion. So why not team up with the biggest dog in the yard and go after the most prestigious title in the Fed? So we go out there and we start eliminating people, and we get down to the final three, and it's no surprise, it's myself, the Commissioner Brian Johnson, and standing across from us is one of our longtime friends, John Crump. Well, after trying to fight us both off, Brian and I both slapped down a submission on John, and he tapped out. John jumped up off the mat, said it was bullshit, said it was unfair, says he'd just been screwed over, and then he no longer wanted to be a part of the GWF and quit on the spot. Brian looked at me with that look in his eye like, all right, now's the time to do it. Figured, what the hell, we've come this far, slapped the double submissions on, became co-champions. That greed that overtook Brian Johnson caused him to show what a manipulative, little backstabbing weasel he really is. And he threw away a friendship with John Crumb. A friendship to this day still hasn't been mended. So here we are at G.W.F Revival, and I talked to management, and I heard that John Crumb was contacted about coming up and being a part of the show, and management said he said yes. So I figured, what the hell, throw the belt on the line, I'll take on John, but in order to do that, I gotta have Brian Johnson. Now Brian, it doesn't surprise me that you don't want to become a part of this. There's a lot of shame in what you did that day. You lost a friend, you became a co-holder of a championship, one in which you felt you probably didn't even deserve in the first place, and weren't capable of winning on your own, hence why we did the double submission in the first place. So I did that favor to you 10 years ago, and 10 years later, when I need the favor repaid, when I need you to be there, you're not there. You ever told your family this story, Brian? You ever look your daughter in your eyes? Tell her what kind of a coward you really are? What you did to one of your best friends? How low you stooped to become a champion? You think she'd ever love Daddy the same way ever again? How about your wife, Brian? Does she know what you did in the garage that day? Does she know what you went through to ensure a victory? Would she be proud of you? Nobody would be. And you threw away a friendship that can never be replaced. So while you sit there and you go to work every day and you hug and kiss your family every day, for the last 10 years, I've been waiting for a chance to prove that I am the sole GWF champion. And now you're going to deny me that right? I don't think so. Brian, 10 years ago, you proved you didn't have it. 10 years later, you're still proving it by not showing up. You know, Brian, we started the company together. I think if anybody belonged here, it would be you and I. You got a choice. You can come back and do the right thing, swallow your pride, and realize that you made a mistake, and know what you'd have to do to make it right. Or you can sit at home, you can stew, you can fester, you can sit there and try to relive glory days in your mind over and over again. But I'm giving you the chance, Brian. I'm calling your ass out. G.W.F Revival is going to take place right here. This is where it's going to happen. This is where we're going to come back. And this is where we're going to find out who truly is G.W.F champion. I'm not asking you, Brian. I'm telling you. The day of that event, you better be there. You got one chance. It's time for you to be a man, Brian. Defend that belt. I'll see you this July.